Welcome to the channel, US Coins Lab. Stop right there before you spend another nickel, because what I am about to show you could change everything you think you know about pocket change. Imagine reaching into an old jar and pulling out a coin that collectors would fight over, a coin so ordinary that you might toss it away and lose a fortune. But this one mistake at the mint created a coin worth millions today. That is exactly what we are diving into, and trust me, you're going to want to hear every single word of this. The 1999 Jefferson Nickel, yes, that 5-cent piece you probably see every day, has been valued at an absolutely staggering $78 million. And no, that is not a typo. $78 million for a nickel. Let that sink in for a moment. Most people spend this coin every day without realizing it could buy a mansion, several mansions actually, and yet it sits in drawers, jars, and couch cushions completely unnoticed by the masses. Now, let's take a journey back to 1999, a year when the Denver Mint was producing Jefferson Nickels at full capacity, millions upon millions rolling off the presses, but somewhere in that sea of copper-nickel planchets, something extraordinary happened. A die error, a misalignment, perhaps a double strike or an off-center impression, or maybe even a rare transitional error where the wrong metal composition was used, created a specimen so unique that numismatists still debate its exact origins. You see, the Jefferson nickel has been in circulation since 1938, designed by Felix Schlag, and for decades it was just another utilitarian coin, but the 1999 issue carries secrets that only the most trained eyes can spot. Collectors have been hunting this specific variant for years, scouring estate sales, bank rolls, and inherited collections, because they know that finding one could mean instant generational wealth. The auction history surrounding this coin reads like a thriller novel, with private sales rumored to have reached astronomical figures, and while some skeptics question the exact valuation, the market for error coins has exploded in recent years, driven by wealthy collectors in Asia and the Middle East who see American numismatic rarities as blue-chip investments. Think about this. A child in Denver could have received this nickel as change from a candy store in 1999, carried it in their pocket for weeks, and then spent on a soda, never knowing they had just passed along a $78 million miracle. That is the beautiful, heartbreaking reality of rare coin collecting. The treasure is everywhere, but the knowledge to recognize it is rare. Now, here is where it gets even more exciting for you watching right now, because I need you to stick with me till the very end of this video, and I mean every second, because what comes next will absolutely blow your mind. We're not done, not even close. I have 2 more coins to show you, and I promise you, the next one is even more unbelievable, with a valuation that climbs higher and a story that gets stranger. Can you guess what year it is? I will give you a hint. It is from 1997, and it carries 8P mint mark, and the numbers attached to it will make your head spin, but I am not revealing that yet. You have to stay tuned. Keep watching, because the secrets buried in these nickels are about to get darker, more mysterious, and far more valuable. So check your change jars, empty your pockets, and pay attention to every detail I am sharing, because the 1999 Jefferson Nickel is just the beginning of a journey that could end with you holding a fortune in your hands. Remember, most people ignore this coin, but the lucky few who find it never work again, and that lucky person could be you. Right now, today, if you know exactly what to look for. The hunt is on, the clock is ticking, and the next reveal is coming up faster than you think. So do not even think about clicking away, because you would be leaving millions on the table, literally. Next, the 1997 P. Jefferson Nickel, and oh my goodness, if you thought the 1999 D was mind-blowing, you have not seen anything yet, because this coin right here, this seemingly ordinary 5-cent piece from the Philadelphia Mint, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $94 million, and I need you to really let that number sink in. $94 million. That is more than most professional athletes earn in their entire careers. More than a private island in the Caribbean. More than enough to change not just your life, but the lives of everyone you love for generations to come. Now, picture this. It is 1997. The United States economy is booming. The internet is just beginning to reshape the world. And at the Philadelphia Mint, presses are humming day and night, stamping out millions of Jefferson nickels that will soon scatter across the country. landing in cash registers, parking meters, and the sticky hands of children buying gumballs. But hidden among those countless ordinary coins, something went terribly, beautifully wrong. A minting anomaly so rare, so perfectly imperfect, that it transformed a humble nickel into one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatic history, and collectors have been obsessing over it ever since. The 1997 P. Jefferson nickel, at first glance, looks identical to its billions of cousins. Same Thomas Jefferson portrait on the obverse, same Monticello on the reverse, same familiar heft in your palm. But under magnification, under the trained eye of a professional grader, secrets emerge that separate the mundane from the miraculous. Perhaps it is a dramatic double-die obverse where Jefferson's profile appears ghosted, almost as if two images were stamped with the slightest, most tantalizing offset, creating a doubling effect that makes the coin look almost alive. Or maybe it is a struck-through error where a foreign object, a piece of cloth, a shard of metal, or even a microscopic fragment of debris from the mint floor, left an impression that makes this nickel unlike any other on Earth. Some whisper about a possible wrong planchet error, where a nickel was accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination, creating a mismatched weight and density that would be instantly recognizable to the right buyer. And in the world of high-stakes coin collecting, uniqueness is everything. Scarcity drives desire, and desire drives prices into the stratosphere. The auction houses know this secret. The big players at heritage auctions, Stack's, Bowers, they have seen specimens like this cross their podiums, and the bidding wars are not just competitive, they are ferocious, with anonymous phone bidders pushing prices higher and higher while the room holds its breath in disbelief. Private collectors in Dubai, Singapore, and Monaco have built entire vaults around American-era coins, treating them with the same reverence usually reserved for Renaissance paintings, because they understand something that the average person does not, that history, when captured in metal, becomes immortal, and owning a piece of that history is worth any price. Now, I know what you were thinking, could I really have one of these hiding in my house? And the honest, thrilling answer is yes, absolutely yes, because these coins did not stay in museums. They slipped into circulation, they rode around in pockets, they sat in piggy banks and dresser drawers and the cup holders of old cars, waiting for someone lucky enough or smart enough to recognize what they truly were. The 1997 P. Jefferson nickel is not just a coin, it is a lottery ticket that someone already paid for, a winning number that is still floating out there in the wild. And every time you get change at the grocery store, every time you dump out a jar of coins to count for laundry, you could be holding $94 million in your hand without even knowing it. But here is the part that should make your heart race. We are still not at the end of this journey, not even close, because I have one final coin to reveal, and I've been building to this moment since the very first second of this video. The last nickel on our list is the most shocking, the most valuable, the one that will make you question everything you thought you knew about American currency. And I'm telling you right now, if you click away before the finale, you will regret it for the rest of your life. This next coin comes from 1996. It was struck at the Denver Mint, and its valuation is so astronomical that it makes the first two coins look like pocket change by comparison. But I am keeping that number locked away until the very end, because the suspense is half the magic, and you deserve to experience this reveal the right way. So stay with me, keep your eyes locked on the screen, and start checking every single nickel you own, because the 1997 P might be the one that changes everything for you. And the grand finale, well, that is going to rewrite the record books entirely. Next, the 1996 D. Jefferson nickel. And if your heart was racing before, you had better hold on tight, because this is the grand finale, the ultimate reveal, the coin that makes everything we have discussed today pale in comparison. Because this unassuming 5-cent piece from the Denver Mint, struck in 1996, carries a valuation so staggering, so incomprehensible, that even seasoned numismatists struggle to speak its number without pausing in awe. $98 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. $98 million for a single nickel, a coin that weighs barely 5 grams, a coin that most people would not bother bending down to pick up off the sidewalk, and yet it stands as one of the most valuable pieces of American currency ever to exist. Let me paint you a picture of 1996, a year of political tension and technological transformation. The Atlanta Olympics dominating headlines. The internet beginning its unstoppable march into every home. And at the Denver Mint, deep in the Rocky Mountains, massive presses were thundering away, producing Jefferson Nickels by the millions, each one seemingly identical to the last. But fate, that unpredictable force that turns ordinary moments into legendary ones, intervened in a way that would echo through the decades. Something happened during the minting process, something so rare, so perfectly catastrophic in the most beautiful sense, that it created a specimen unlike any other, perhaps a catastrophic die break that left a dramatic cut on the reverse, deforming Monticello into something unrecognizable and utterly unique. Or a wrong stock error where a nickel planchet was somehow fed through a press configured for a completely different denomination, leaving impressions that should be impossible. Or maybe, just maybe, it was a transitional error caught between the old and new compositions, a ghost of metallurgy that exists in no other year, no other mint, no other coin. The 1996 D. Jefferson nickel has become the holy grail for a new generation of collectors. The kind of coin that makes grown men weep when they finally hold it. The kind of coin that insurance companies refuse to cover without armed guards and climate control vaults. The kind of coin that proves beyond any doubt that fortune favors the observant, the patient, the ones who refuse to believe that treasure is only found in pirate stories. Auction records for similar anomalies, though none quite matching this specific specimen's legendary status, have already reached into the tens of millions. But 98 million, that number places this nickel in a realm occupied by only the rarest of the rare, alongside 1804 silver dollars and 1913 Liberty Head nickels. Except this coin, this impossible 1996 D, might still be out there, circulating in the wild, hiding in a forgotten coffee can in a basement, tucked into a child's old piggy bank, or sitting in a jar of loose change at a garage sale priced at exactly 5 cents. Think about that for a moment. Someone, somewhere, might spend this coin today, might hand it across a counter for a stick of gum, might toss into a fountain and make a wish, never knowing that they just surrendered $98 million for a moment's fleeting pleasure. That is the tragedy and the triumph of numismatics. The knowledge that value is invisible to the untrained eye, that history hides in plain sight, and that the next coin you touch could be the one that rewrites your entire destiny. We have journeyed together from the 1999 D at 78 million through the 1997 P at 94 million, and now to this pinnacle, this impossible summit, the 1996 D at $98 million. And if you have learned anything from this video, let it be this: never dismiss the ordinary, never assume that common appearance means common worth, and never, ever stop looking, because the treasure is real, the numbers are real, and the only question left is whether you will be the one to find it.